Okay, so what have we got here? Okay, first, the older kid is always the most dependent and most dependent and needy.
I absolutely agree. Precisely explained, precisely expressed.
Okay, well, we don't need to discuss that because that's a clear and true statement. They require the most help and the most guidance as well.
Yeah, the little children, the little problems.
Yeah, yes.
The older children, the bigger problems.
Yes.
But the problems not in a very positive meaning of the word problem.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's very precisely said.
Yeah. Now, also, the older kid gets more freedom, status, and power, which is both the benefit, advantage, and the danger at the same time. It's with freedom, status, and power comes responsibility, and that's the great issue. Can people handle the responsibility? Can people hold the responsibilities that they need to? Or that's the way that it should work.
I don't agree with this. This is only first view. More freedom. What it means, more freedom.
Yeah,
You understand very well, because it's only illusion that more freedom in Matrix is possible. The most freedom, the child has most freedom at the moment of the birth.
Yes.
And every moment after this moment is less and less and less freedom.
Yeah, you get in this case, freedom just means a bigger box, right?
Yeah. Bigger
like
box. That. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Even smaller box.
Okay, yeah, or some cases a smaller box.
Yeah. Smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Overcare is developmentally regressive. This means if parents pay too much attention, too much focus on their children, the children don't develop in
natural way.
Yeah, exactly. It's overcare. It's just too much. Yeah. The modern terminology, something like helicopter parenting, it's called, where the parents have to know everything about what the children are doing all of the time. And that's too much. Basically, the children
and box is smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You think the box is bigger, but it's actually really, in reality smaller.
And more freedom in this meaning of words means more illusion, more distraction, more confusion.
Very much, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of that there, definitely.
We can say about status. What is it? Status.
Yes, I agree. Again, that's another part of the matrix, isn't it? It's
another illusion. Status.
Yes. Yeah, there's a negative side to these ideas as well. Children socialize and entertain each other. This idea that the children need to be stimulated externally, as the children create their own stimulation for their world. You can guide them, but children very much enjoy the exploration of freedoms they get to be with themselves and to be with each other. And a lot of society doesn't allow children. A lot of society believes that society should provide the entertainment for the children, but children don't need that a lot of the time. They don't need it artificially created. There's enough stimulus, hopefully in the natural environment for them, so that they don't need to live in artificial constructs. It's a more complex idea. Social animals need peers to work with. One is not easier than two. This is explained by one is not easier than two. Having one child is not easier than having two children. Families that have one child, it's harder for them than families who have two children.
Yeah, I agree. It's my own experience.
Because there's more pressure on everybody to perform better in a family where there's only one child, and there's pressure, a lot of pressure on all sides. The dynamics are more powerful when you have more people around. There's more things happening, and you have to be prepared. I mean, consider the difference between a child playing alone in their room and a child in their room with their brother or sister or brothers or sisters. There's a massive difference in those experiences there. And I always say from my own personal experience, like I never had any brothers or sisters. So when people talk to me about their brothers or sisters, I have no idea what that means.
Me too.
I don't know. I don't know what that means to have brothers or sisters. I can try to imagine it, but I don't really know what it's like to share a room with more people every day for like 20 years, right? And know nothing else. I don't know what that's like. I can try to imagine it, but it's a bit crazy for me. Next, kids pay you back by being children. And I like this. Kids pay you back by being children. It's like, what is the reward that you get for having children? Well, the reward that you get for having children is that the children are children. And that's the reward. That's enough, because their job is to be that way, and your job is to learn from that. So, that's what you get. A lot of people focus on like, what do you get when you have kids? Well, what you get is a series of opportunities that you could not create alone. And so that's the reward. And it's like people are looking for something more. It's not any more complicated than the children being children is enough of a reward for the situation. Children enjoy most activities more than adults.
Yeah.
And that's because of the freedom that you described, I think. Because they don't have the prejudice, the prejudgments.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fixed in their ways. And as you get older, you become much more of who you are, and your vision very often disappears. You become blind because so few things are new to you. Like, you've seen trees, so trees are not interesting. You've seen houses, so houses are not interesting. You've seen cars, so cars are not interesting. And the result of this is the next point on the list, which is the older you get, the more that you see memory rather than reality. Okay. The older you, I thought that was a really great point. The older you get, the more that you see memory rather than reality. What this means is you don't see with your eyes. what is real. You see with your mind. What you see is history rather than the present moment, because you think you know what it is.
Yeah, another problem is seeing through our physical eyes only. It means...
Yes, and another problem is also the opposite of that, not seeing through our physical eyes only. Both of those things are problems. Both of those...
Only, yes. When it is only.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because when you don't see with knowledge and understanding, that's a problem. And when you only... Yeah, I'm trying to explain it now, because it's a problem both ways. It's a problem when you don't see what is real, and it's a problem when you don't understand what is real. Either way, it's a problem.
Understanding and seeing what is real, it would be a great tool for our development, for our spiritual and personal development.
Yeah, but there's
probably almost nobody knows what is really real, and that's the problem. That's the key word. That's why we are still in a prison. Okay, but yeah, continue. Let's continue.
Well, there's also the relationship between the words prism and prison. Yeah, just to add to what she said, prism and prison. So it's about the concept of light and understanding and freedom. Anyway, right. Next, I like this simple but great. All childhood is art.
Of course, it's great art.
Yes, all childhood is art. It's if people are looking for an explanation, it's that childhood is art, and in order for art to be real, the artist must not fully understand their creation. Because the aim of art is to go beyond what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And uncover or discover that which you don't know.
Yes, I agree. Very nice set, yeah.
And therefore, this is the key point for me, and therefore, all real art defies traditional definition. Because if you can define it or put it in a special box, then it's not going anywhere.
There is not an art.
Yeah, it's not art. Yeah, exactly.
There is only something in a box.
Yeah, it's not creation. It's
fake. It's a fake.
Yeah. It's not creation. It's just a copy of something. Right?
This is artificial technical object.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So, when you paint in a
not creation, only making. Not created by made. Not created but made. This is great difference between these.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Manufactured, you could even say.
Yeah. Creation is natural process.
Yeah.
And manufacture is an artificial process. That's all. So I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And
please repeat this idea again.
There's a problem with what we define as modern art, or art in any sense, because real art must go beyond the understanding of the artist, beyond the understanding of the person who is trying to comprehend the art. Because if you can, if you know what it is, it's not challenging you or taking you anywhere new.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And this is really interesting, because I had a conversation with one of my clients whose husband is an artist, and she was talking about how she didn't understand her husband's art, and that her husband couldn't explain his art. And I agreed with her that this was not a good thing. But now, after listening to this, I've changed my opinion. I now understand his position, which is that it's not his job. It's not his job as an artist to create something that you know and understand.
And probably it's not his job to explain the art to other people.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is the job of criticism. This is the job of a lot of huge amount of people who is not artists but who is criticists.
Yeah. Yeah, and
very useless people for society, for development of society. Because probably real art probably is not possible to explain, but it's possible to experience, to feel. And this is the great difference.
Yeah, well, the challenge is to approach something without prejudice. And my client said that she even had a problem because she had to sell his art, and to sell his art she had to give names to the works of art. And she said that her husband, who created the art, would not give names to the art, because giving a name to the piece of art then narrowed the spectrum of possibilities for the viewer of the art, the person who experiences the art. When you give it a name, it's like, oh, well, it's this. But he didn't want to give any of his artwork names, because that limits the vision. It limits the idea. It limits the possibility.
Oh, yeah, it's set some limitations, some frontiers, some borders. Yeah, nice, very nice idea. Please write your idea on the line.
I'm not
in one or two short sentences. That's a task for you. That's a challenge.
All art must extend beyond the artist and the artist's and the artist's knowledge. It must challenge and cross borders and boundaries, and it must take people somewhere new. I know that's just what's in it. And all art must extend beyond the artist and the artist's knowledge. It must challenge and cross borders, and should be boundaries, spelled that wrong. Boundaries, and it must take people somewhere new. Boundaries and it must take people somewhere new. Real creation must be a challenge to reality and not a copy of that which already exists. Oh, that's it. Okay, that's the definition. Real creation must be a challenge to reality and not a copy of that which already exists.
And another explanation is difference between art and mechanical mechanism.
Yeah. Art cannot be manufactured.
Yeah.
It is a natural process.
So there is another understanding of ancient artists who were simultaneously artists, scientists, philosophers, lovers, musicians, because they extended their understanding of reality through process of creation arts. It was beyond their understanding reality.
Yeah, they were not scientists and artists and poets. They were creators.
Yes, they were creators. They were experimentators or experience. Who is the word for this?
Well,
who experience something.
Well, basically, they were living gods.
Yeah.
That's how I would define it. They were living gods.
Living spirits.
Okay, spirits.
Living spirits is better than gods.
Yes.
Really living beings, really living, because the most of our population are dead. Not even, but only existing, and another difference between the words, another difference of in description of our life now or our existence now, because I think most of us, or most time of our so-called life, is only an existence, not real life, because real life must be an art from this point of view. Most life must be beyond our understanding, beyond our mental and logical understanding.
Yes, it's growth, isn't it? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at
thrive, growth or thrive.
Yeah, positive.
Like flower thrives. We have to thrive, likely or similar way.
Yes, absolutely. So beyond all childhood is art, let's get to the end of the list. Adults forget how much impact the world has on kids. Children are constantly affected by everything that's happening in the environment, and there's this general attitude that people have that, children are durable and they're flexible and they can survive so much, but it's not true, because everything that happens to them has an effect. Maybe not now, but at some point in their lives, and we all yeah.
There is another interesting thing. Children know all about their parents.
Yes.
At the same time, even they are in different room, in different place, they know all about their parents immediately. and always. They don't need to see it by or through their own eyes, but they know. They are so strong connected with their parents, with their mother especially, that it seems to be a one organism, one.
Yes, yeah, it's
Yeah.
children should be like that. It should be the growth of the organism, basically.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, it's very important what parents do, how is the system of parents thinking, what are ideas birthing in parents' mind, because all these ideas, all these acts, all these activities immediately influence their children.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. I totally
So
agree.
don't forget about how much our activity, our way of life impact the world of our kids.
Yeah, it's there's always an impact, even if it's not visible.
Yes. Our hidden acts, our hidden activity.
This is the way I think about it. Look at the moon and the surface of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see things hit the moon, but it's obvious that the moon has been hit like 100,000 times by lots of things in space, and that's kind of like the child, right? The child is just impacted by everything hitting them all the time. We don't see it, but it's there. Children constantly play with fire in the unsolid, which I translated as fluid, the unsolid paradise of being.
Mm-hmm.
And to be a child is the fact you can't live without danger, you can't live without pain, you can't grow without understanding a variety of different experiences. And this, if you keep children safe from everything, they won't learn anything. So
metaphysical meaning of the fire is something like a free soul.
Yeah.
This is the process of art.
Yeah, we talk
the creation of art. Yeah.
Yes.
Play with fire in this meaning way, it means to create an art, a real art, as we defined minutes before.
Yeah, it's about the fact that I think very often with light and fire we use the term dance. We say that fire dances and light dances. So there's a lot of energy and movement in those elements. So I think he's saying that sometimes you have to let your children play with fire and trust them that they're going to be okay. Within reason, of course. And the last one was interference in childhood relationships has intergenerational effects. It's quite a complex statement.
Interference in childhood relationships.
Yeah. That if you affect your children in a negative way, long after you're dead, there can still be effects in the world in reality.
Until they are able to change this this so-called problems.
Yeah, and they can't change it if they are not allowed to experience creation and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what breaks the cycle, that's what breaks the circle. That's what changes the perspectives. That's the true power of art. Right.